Life before A Better Way started out good. I was raised in Michigan, south of Detroit. Had a good family. Had a pretty good life. Childhood was good. My father's parents were pretty religious. They took me to church on the weekends, so I had a pretty firm belief in God. My parents moved to Georgia on my 7th birthday. My dad came down here for work and was doing pretty good. But there were some underlying family issues. My mom, she suffered from addiction, and eventually that led to my parents getting divorced around the time I was 12 years old. And after that, things were okay for a little while. And then around the time I was 12 or 13, I also started experimenting with substances. I started off smoking weed when I was about 13 years old, and in that same year, I started experimenting with LSD, and that carried on like that for a few years. And by the time I was about 15 or 16, I had tried cocaine, and I remember in this period of time I was in my room and I said to myself, I'll never use heroin, or I'll never use hard drugs like that, even though I'd already used cocaine. And when I was about 19, I ended up moving back up to Michigan, and during that time, everybody up there, they were addicted and using OxyContin. So it wasn't long. I was running with the wrong crowd up there. It wasn't long before I also was using OxyContin. Became addicted to that. Ended up trying to get away from all that and moving back down to Georgia. And that didn't seem to work. Before you know it, I had tried heroin. Thank God I never injected or used a needle, but it was still enough to, just by sniffing it, it was still enough to get me addicted. And from there, it was pretty much a downward spiral. I realized I needed help for quite a while. I just did not I wasn't in the position, or I felt I wasn't in the position to seek help or to afford help. I remember before my previous arrest, sitting there and thinking to myself, if I could just go to rehab, if I could just find a rehab for 30 days and get my feet on the ground, I would be all right. I heard about A Better Way while I was locked up this last go-round, and it was from this really eccentric guy, this jailhouse preacher, and he was telling me about A Better Way because the first rehab I went to, things had fallen through for that one. So he was telling me about A Better Way, and I should go there. And so I talked to my lawyer, and I talked to my wife, and they made the call to Billy, and had my interview, and Billy told me to come on in. So about maybe 2 or 3 months after that, I went ahead and came down to A Better Way. My first day at A Better Way, it was a lot to take in. The routine, the schedule. By nature, I'm a night owl, so the mornings were hard. It was a hard adjustment. The structure at A Better Way, it's not easy. You're waking up at 4:45 in the morning. You're doing your devotion in the morning, going to breakfast, doing chores. There's definitely a routine to it, and it can be hard to adjust to. The brotherhood at A Better Way Ministries is great. Everybody is there to support each other, to uplift each other. We're all going through this thing together, and everybody does a really good job of just being there for each other and loving each other. The Florida trip was awesome. Just going down to Florida. I love Florida. I love the beach, so it was just really great to be down there. It was awesome doing our devotions in the morning in the beach house, and then going to the beach with Brother John, and just hearing what wisdom he had to give us, just getting to know Brother John a little better. It was really cool, the baptism was also really cool for me. I had been baptized before, but I wasn't sober when I got baptized, so that's not necessarily a good thing. But yeah, being baptized in the ocean in Florida was awesome. A Better Way has given me my life back. It's allowed me to reconnect with God and with Christ, and given me a second chance at life. I know God sent me to a better way for a reason. I know that He's given me purpose in life again.